providing for danger. They will never let you down. Don't you lose your hopes now. They will wipe out rage and fire without fear, and they'll light up our future. Don't worry, just believe they will be with you. Hey.
The Rangers have nothing to hide, so as they fight, they stand side by side. For what's right, attacking with pride, protecting the people from all sorts of evil, trouble, and those who do wrong. So violate and get your back charged. You ask what's this? Is it justice? Folks say outside crisis. Toughness, which is a type risk. Combos, blows, down if it might miss. Since the seem never paying a cent to handle theirs, then proceed to step to the next stage and to a next phase. Giving nightmares like West Grave. So violators, you best make way, cause the Gun Rangers is here to stay.
Don't give up, don't say you wanna cry. Don't forget your smile. Coming in, hold on tight. Power of our teamwork overcomes all. Yeah. They will never let you down. Don't you lose your hopes now. We must be the light of hope for the ones counting on us in the darkness. Don't worry, just believe.
Okay, how's it going, everybody? I'm sorry I was late. Actually had to cook this time since I didn't really have time to get anything. So it was a whopping 30 minutes late. So sorry about that. But anyway, if any of you were in chat, how's your day going? My day was the same as always. Just working as usual at the school. Nothing too much happened again, so I just stayed in the office for most of the day. So I was just doing that and just looking up stuff on Twitter to talk about for the day. And there is some stuff I want to talk about, so we can get into that before we get into anything else. Let's see here. Let's change the music up real quick. Not sure if I like the vibe of this one. I need to put more music in this. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine for right now. But yeah, my day was going all right. I've been noticing a few things going on Twitter recently. Notably somebody who was doing like an opinion tweet again, but this time with VTubers, and a lot of people had some stuff to say, and one in particular was somebody named Nithydra VT. I guess that's how that's spelled. They essentially were saying that having a Lolicon V2 was pedal bait, basically, and I have some opinions on that, and it's a bit more complicated than you might think. So I just want to get into that real quick. Let's see. Oh, it's this right here. Let me turn the volume down a little bit for me. Yes, this right here says having a VTuber model that looks like a little girl intentionally manipulating your voice and vocabulary to sound childish, all while wearing a sexually suggestive outfits and saying sexual things does in fact make you pedal bait. You know damn well what you are doing. But there's plenty of grown women that are completely flat-chested. Yes, but are they prancing around in a childlike onesie with their patterned underwear exposed and pigtails talking about putting things in their mouth? No, not the same, and if they are, also pedal bait. But there's plenty of women who have really high-pitched voices that sound like little girls. Yes, but are they intentionally warping their voice and making their vocabulary very limited on purpose to sound childlike while talking about sexual acts? No, not the same. And if they are, also pedal bait. Now, a lot of people have this opinion on Twitter, and you'll see it pronounced a lot on Twitter. Sometimes you'll see it at conventions, like at that one convention when someone had a sign that basically said all lolicons are predators, and it's a really big thing when it comes to anime VTubers and basically the entire genre as a whole. And the main thing is that this is a genre that's been around since the 60s and 70s, ever since it became popular. And that's when people who make manga and light novels put this into their works as a form of expression for themselves, I guess. Well, expression for what they liked. And what they liked were cute girls like that. And the kicker about this is that it's not 100% about having a sexual attraction to little children. It's about, well, the theory is about these people having a sort of obsession with purity, or so I could say, or like an obsession with a person's innocence before adulthood. And when they see that, they tend to gravitate to that and protect that at all costs when they see it in media or when they see it in like books or stuff like that, or manga. And I think Moon Channel talked about this in a video. Is this one right here? Why is K-On! That's another anime that people really like. So popular with Twitter Nazis. And let's not make the title fool you into that this is a biased piece, and because he does make a lot of good points, and he does reference a lot of material that supports his hypothesis. And the hypothesis is that when it comes to the mostly male epidemic who are usually lonely and who are usually unsatisfied with their lives for various reasons, they tend to gravitate towards these things like this hologram thing, like we talked about yesterday with the Razer product that they're going with. And I'm willing to bet that despite this anger towards lolicons in and of itself, that when that product comes out, well, when and if it comes out, it will probably be more popular. Well, I'm betting it will be more popular if other characters from gachas like Sailor Zone Zero, Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves collab with them to make their characters available for that product, and that'll basically skyrocket their its popularity. And the thesis that Moon Channel makes is that the reason that this is so prevalent is because corporations are capitalizing on men's loneliness. That's basically his hypothesis in the entire video. I'm not gonna show too much of it, but I can show this clip right here where he basically sums up the whole thing. Let's see. Let me turn down the volume a little bit.
Of their life or something. I'm not condemning K-On! Or its fans. I'm merely pointing out the effect that shows like K-On! Can have on their vulnerable target audience, developing and furthering their alienation. The effect that K-On! Has on young men isn't the fault of those men. It's not the fault of K-On!'s writers. It's not the fault of K-On!'s publishers, or even of Kyoto Animation. The problem begins not with the snake oil cure, but with the disease. Not with the beauty of the song, but with the loneliness of the sea. The problem starts at the roots. Alienated young men have always existed in the West and in Japan, but the circumstances are different. Hippolytus dies, Genji never finds fulfillment, Holden's sister inevitably grows old, Dolores breaks free. But K-On! And shows like it are immortal. Innocence never fades, the siren song never ends, and the alienation is perpetual. This is the difference. The viewer is never even given the chance to escape. Capital is like the air. It completely fills any vessel that holds it. In a market-driven society, the market must fill every empty space where profit could exist. But there are places where profit shouldn't exist, where a rational society shouldn't want markets.
So, he's basically saying that when it comes to profitability for companies and when it comes to male loneliness, that people and corporations shouldn't be capitalizing on men's loneliness because that only leads to bad things. So, and I incline to agree with him. The way that we would go about stopping this kind of thing is a bit more complicated because I'm also of the opinion that this type of content lies within the law of freedom of expression. And when it comes to freedom of expression, you can hate lolicons all you want, but I think it's within their right to create that type of content if they want to. You know, if it within a reasonable degree. You can't depict you can't depict real life people as a lolicon. I think that's a step too far where the line is. And I think some other things you can say will go too far, but overall, I think the freedom of expression law is absolute when it comes to stuff like this. And if you're willing to take that away, then you're basically advocating for the government to be selective when it comes to freedom of expression. So, and so I'm not really a fan of that at all. People may not like it, but it's within their rights anyway. So, no, not that. So when it comes to this and the reactions towards it, I would say it's okay for them to not like it, but for them to advocate for its removal is something that I can't really agree with. They can have these opinions all they want and they can remove themselves from the space, but if they actually advocate for its removal, I can't really say that I'll be sticking on their side with that. So, but when it comes to the social aspect, the court of public opinion, then they may have some sort of leeway when it comes to that. And in some ways, it's already successful as it's become a sort of moot topic when it comes to lolicons in general in the eyes of the general audience. But we're talking about stuff that's been a part of Japanese society since the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So I'm not sure how far that sort of public opinion will go when it comes to Japanese society. But as Moon Channel said, it's not exactly that you need to remove it. It's something that we just need to be aware that corporations can't really make money off of when it comes to the male loneliness. And that's one of the things that I do agree with when it comes to this stuff. Not so much the removal of it, because that goes against their rights to freedom of expression, but I do believe there needs to be some sort of action against corporations that take advantage of it in a malicious way. The way they do it, I'm not sure. I'm not really here to bring answers to that, but I'm just here to give my perspective on it. So, it comes to stuff like general people like these VTubers that people have labeled as lolicons that they want to be removed from the space. And that goes for Gura and Saba. They want us to be lolicons, and that's within their right. But people on Twitter and maybe Blue Sky, I haven't really seen anything on there. They don't really feel that lolicons in general should be a concept at all within the VTuber space or within any space at all. And they can have that opinion, but if ever it comes a point where the legal system becomes involved, then I would have to stand against them, because that goes against my principles as an advocate for freedom of expression. But yeah, that's basically just one thing that I've seen a lot on Twitter and on Blue Sky, is that their disdain for lolicon content and their basically advocating to see it removed from media in general. And it's not something that you can literally remove overnight. Because if you remember, Cyberpunk had this problem too, where the I guess the investors didn't want one of the characters who was technically a lolicon but was older. They didn't want them to be in the anime due to fears of backlash from people. But if you saw, the people who made the anime stuck to the guns and had it in there anyway, and nobody really complained about it. So I think the outrage is sort of selective when it comes to certain things, when it comes to people who they deem are lolicons or not. And that goes with people like Tigolic too, because people assume that he was sort of a Shotokan too, and he was attracting people who were attracted to children, and that was not the case for Taiga. And but people gravitated towards that and brought him into a negative light, especially when Nakusaku talked about it and brought a lot of negative attention to his way, which essentially boiled down to getting his channel taken down. But that's a whole different story. But yeah, the main thing is that people can hate this, but when the legal system becomes involved, I'm not going to be in support of anything that goes against the freedom of expression law. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this. And I'm sure we're going to get more people who are going to be talking about this a lot. And it's probably not going to go away. But, I'll stick to my stance with if it's within the legal limits of freedom of expression, I'm going to support it either way, even if I don't like it. So, and I think that needs to be everyone's opinion when it comes to this stuff. But, people have different opinions, so I'm not going to really get mad about it or anything like that. Another thing that happened today was Elephant Psyop was a bit of a big topic. If you didn't know, she was getting talked about on Twitter for basically implying that she solicited sexual material as a minor to somebody who they trusted. And once that blew up, probably unexpected in her perspective, once that blew up, she tried to clarify that she lied about it and that she sent something that wasn't explicit material to a certain person, whoever, and people use that to make AI versions of it as revenge porn. So the problem with this is that we don't actually know how old Elephant Psyop is, and the only way we could actually know if she's lying or not is if she provided ID that verified her identity, that verified her age, not her identity. But I don't think she will be likely to do that ever, because later on she deleted her Twitter account, and later on after that she basically implied that she's graduating. I'm not sure if this is a habit of hers, but if it's not, then this is basically it for Elephant Psyop. So when it comes to the minors soliciting explicit material, it's kind of a gray area when it comes to the enforcement of it, because different laws apply in different states and countries. But what she did in and of itself, if it was true, is a crime, and she blatantly admitted to it. So when it comes to that, she could be in some sort of trouble, and I assume she was getting harassed about it, and probably getting threats from random people saying that they were going to organize and get her to be arrested by law enforcement. And so she probably panicked about that, and it essentially boiled down to this. So, not the best thing on her part to do. I don't know what she was going for, when she tried this, but I guess she just wanted to get more attention that would elevate her, I guess. But I guess this time it wasn't the attention that she wanted. So, not exactly the smartest thing to do, to admit a crime like that blatantly on Twitter. So, I can't say I really feel bad for her. But, this is just, this is just something that happens every month in my eyes. So I'm not really gonna be too surprised when this happens on my timeline. So that sucks for her. So, and maybe she'll be back, maybe she won't. We'll see. Yeah, that was pretty much it that I saw. When it comes to stuff like this in the VTuber scene, it gets kind of overblown when it comes to people who are willing to get into drama a lot for content. And I'm not sure if it needs to be like that. Well, at least I don't want it to be like that in general, because I'm not really fond of people just farming drama on Twitter and maybe on Blue Sky. I don't know what they do with there. I mostly just see art, but I'm not really fond of it at all, just to get attention. And the only time you're gonna see me cover drama is if I'm trying to get a clear perspective out of something. So if you ever see me covering something that's a really big topic, I'm only ever going to try to get the full story. I'm not really going to try to get it for content, even though that's basically what I'm doing here. But I like to gravitate more towards seeing the truth out of things if I can find it. So that's something that I want to do more on my channel, on my YouTube channel. Because when it comes to drama and rumors and stuff like that, the truth starts to get buried in the sand of lies. So if I can, I want to get a clear perspective on both sides to try and come to a middle ground where the truth might be, instead of just going along with the bandwagon and just farming for clips or just trying to get a rise out of people. I don't really like that at all. And it's been happening in the VTuber scene and pretty much every scene in content creation and streaming for at least, basically ever since it started. So, I know it's never going to go away, but at least if I can, I would like to see if I can find the truth somewhere. And I believe that more people should try and do that if they have any integrity at all. And that's the problem that I had with Cinder, and when her document came out, nobody really tried to give her a chance at all, even though a lot of what was in her document was substantially substantially valid information. So I think after all of this, I just want to find the truth in all things. I'm not going to go to a certain person that I like and just support them wholeheartedly just because I like them. And I know a lot of people do that on Twitter and on other spaces too, because I've seen it. And I get really surprised at how many people do it. It's just something that I'm not really fond of in the scene at all. And I think more people should be scrutinized for that kind of behavior when it comes to supporting someone. So that's just my opinion on the whole thing. Yeah. I think when it comes to videos like that, I might do more of them just to see if I can get more perspectives in where I think there needs to be some. Because I'm not sure if you know, well, I'm sure you know, but a lot of other things have been happening besides the VTuber scene that I want to talk about. I'm not gonna say anything right now because I'm not too knowledgeable about it, but I want to cover more things and try to get a more unbiased perspective when it comes to content creators and people who do this for a living, because a lot of stuff that I've seen is really biased and not really dependent on information, not really dependent on correct information at all. It's just stuff that they heard offhand or stuff that they only heard on Twitter that's essentially he said, she said. Basically just rumors and they're just making videos out of it, claiming it is fact. And that's not something that I'm really into. So if I can, I want to do more videos that shed more light on that and give a more balanced perspective on things. I think that may be the biggest thing that I want to do for my YouTube channel. But I just need to find out a way to make it actually doable, because my job takes up a lot of my time for the day, and I just need to find some sort of way to get more videos out regularly. So that's one of the things I need to work on when it comes to content creation for myself. But other than that, there was one other thing that I want to talk about. There's this YouTube channel called Trap University that I really like, and he talks about crime and corruption in the United States and other countries, and he does offer some pretty interesting perspectives, and I wanted to look at that really quick and see what you guys thought. So let me pull that up really quick so I can show you that. Let's see. Okay, here it is.
We did it, guys.
Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's the United States being blackmailed. Okay.
Now we have all the oil. I mean, drugs. I mean, we stopped the drugs. You see, because that's what it was about all along. Biggest oil reserves on the planet? Why, that was just a coincidence. This whole thing is in no way a distraction from the one thing that pretty much the entire country was united behind.
Hold on, let me change something real quick with the text so people can know what I'm doing. Just gonna change something real quick. Give me 1 second.
I think was
Let me go back and see. I guess that's fine. Just leave it as it is. Okay.
And this is amazing, super exciting for me. We will open Venezuela for foreign investment. I am talking about a $1.7 trillion.
I know some of you guys want me to talk about Venezuela, but come on. As soon as the average American saw how much oil Maduro was holding, yeah, his days were definitely numbered. And despite having the largest bounty ever placed by the FBI, his government was allowed to stay in place. You know, the government the United States called a cartel, they all still have their jobs. So this is nonsense. Call me when something less predictable happens. But now to the important stuff, like the files. And Israel. Now, immediately, when I heard that a committee was going to release the Epstein files and provide some transparency in government, I almost threw up because I can only physically handle one lie at a time, and this was 2 in 1. All the files released, redacted, unredacted, and those one files that accidentally were able to be unredacted, what have we learned that we didn't already suspect? Nothing. Your grandfather may have been surprised by the information released, but if you've ever been on the internet, then essentially none of it is new. But when I saw the Air Force veteran / bottle girl / influencer hired by Charlie Kirk and funded by Donald Trump, I mean, my goodness, he hosted a fundraiser for her at his house. When I saw her appointed as a chairwoman on this accountability committee, I laughed and then made a video. And you guys have probably already seen it. And I mean, he was really pulling for her to get elected in the government, because for an extra $25,000 to her campaign, you could even take a picture with the president. Oh boy, that doesn't sound suspicious. And I think some people were worried about the wrong thing when it came to her. Like, sure, she might be Jewish and her last name might have been Meyerhofer before she changed her last name to seemingly more identify with her Hispanic roots. She's still just a lady. The real issue is when in 2019, the US government concluded that Israeli intelligence definitely put surveillance devices and cell phones in the White House. The government also stated that the devices were most likely intended to spy on Donald Trump. Now, this is not that surprising. It's not like the US doesn't also spy on its allies, but when Israel said, "We didn't do it," Donald Trump reiterated that no, they totally didn't do it. And the Israeli Minister of Defense, also named Israel, even said that they don't conduct espionage missions in the United States. But what about the over 40-something years of them being accused of doing exactly that? And not to mention, one of the biggest Hollywood producers is a retired Israeli spy. He's been in Hollywood for like 50 years. He's still producing movies right now. But Anna said out of her own mouth.
Yeah, I think it's no surprise that people are becoming wise to, the Israeli government from doing shady things with the United States. And ever since the Gaza thing happened, people have been basically becoming more privy of things that Israel does when it comes to the United States. There's entire accounts on Twitter that are basically their jobs to track and monitor what Israel does on a daily basis, especially when it comes to Gaza. So ever since that happened, people have been more critical of what Israel does and how influential Israel is to the United States, and if that evenly, and when that happened in the first place. So I'm also not surprised that a lot of what the government is doing right now is to take suspicion away from the Epstein files at all. Because if you haven't noticed, less and less people are talking about the Epstein files at all. And the way it was released is obviously suspicious. And the way people are getting information out of it is definitely suspicious, like you talked about it. So, it's not surprising, but still suspicious that it's happening at all in the first place, especially when it comes to the collusions with Israel and the United States.
That it is very much so a possibility that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence asset working for our adversaries.
But it is very much so a possibility that Jeffrey Epstein was an intelligence asset working for our adversaries.
What? Who? What adversaries? Did he work for Venezuela? Was he a North Korean intelligence asset? According to the Institute for Palestine Studies, the oldest independent nonprofit public research institute in the Arab world, no other country has a more intimate grasp of the American political system than Israel. How could a country nearly 7,000 miles away understand the U.S. political system more than any other country? If anyone, you'd think the UK would be the country that understands us the most, right? I mean, the U.S. was founded by the great-grandchildren of Englishmen. But alright, so they had Donald Trump's phone tapped. Is this why Trump called himself the most pro-Israel president ever? Much like here in the US, the Israeli people have a very questionable...
Yeah. There were some sources of evidence that implied that Jeffrey Epstein had ties to the Israeli government. I think there was like a picture somewhere saying that he had like shirts from the Israeli government or the Israeli army some sort of years ago. I'm not really too knowledgeable about it, but it is there. And seeing that woman talk about that he is an asset for a certain country doesn't really narrows down the possibilities of who he was working with. So it's no surprise that people are making assumptions, and they may be correct assumptions, that Epstein was in some way involved with the Israeli government. Possibly. That's just a theory, still a theory at this point, but it's not one without some sort of merit when it comes to the evidence that we've seen so far.
And non-transparent government that likes to feed on pretty much whatever the easiest things to make people hate is. In the US, Trump's voter base seems to really hate the people who make up 30% of our fucking construction workforce. Did you know that at least 40% of shit being built in California and Texas is built by immigrants? And how it's starting to cost more to build houses since we've been deporting the fucking workforce? Because when the average American kid just wants to be a streamer, athlete, or influencer, somebody's gotta build shit, and it's not gonna be Jack Doherty or I Show Speed building houses now, is it? And Israel also has a problem with its neighbor. I'm sure all of you know enough for me to not have to elaborate on that at all. Jesus Christ, please don't make me. But what is actually going on here? In 2025, we gave a government contract to an Israeli spyware company. And let me remind you that Jeffrey, the man accused by many of having dirt on high-level politicians, something he's even alluded to himself, was accused by a former Israeli intelligence officer of running a honey trap blackmail ring where he'd set you up with a girl, not a woman, and then blackmail you with the footage. And this is not a quote taken out of context. I've even reported on it before. This guy, Ari, was part of Amman, which is the largest component of Israeli intelligence, bigger than Mossad. So when Ari says Jeffrey was an intelligence asset, he's not being biased out of any dislike for Jeffrey or Israel. He's an Israeli citizen, right? So what the hell was Anna talking about when she said our adversaries? Israel is literally...
Yeah, that's just even more evidence to allude to Jeffrey Epstein being an asset for Israel. So... it's, well, given this information and given how much the U.S. government is trying to step away or just steer the conversation away from the Epstein files at all, gives more alluding to people not wanting to see the file. The government not wanting people to see the files just because Trump is in it. They don't want people to see the files because it may implicate a lot more people than we may realize because of stuff like this. You know, a lot of stuff was redacted, and some stuff were unredacted by, easy means. So I'm not sure what the government was trying to do when it came to releasing the files exactly, but one of the reasons may have been likely due to them not wanting to admit to being complicit in the actions of Israel spying on U.S. citizens and U.S. officials. But that's still just my opinion at this point, and it's still just a theory. But the walls are getting thinner from that. The walls are getting thinner when it comes to coming to the truth.
Really, our closest ally. If they wanted us to sever ties with NATO, it'd probably be done within weeks. And also, since we're kinda on this subject, I have to mention the Romanian woman that accused a man associated with Erica Kirk of running an underage brothel on a NATO military base. Alright, so Erica Kirk was involved in a charity for kids in Romania, and I've heard people claim a conspiracy.
Was she? I just got that in the back of my mind. Was she doing what I think she was doing right there? I don't know, maybe she wasn't.
Theory about this charity being involved in the trafficking of children. Well, around 2013, in an official video about the charity narrated by Erica Kirk, at the end, she thanks Colonel Busher, a U.S. service member that was stationed in Romania. Now, a big media outlet in Romania called Active News brings the testimony of Anna Maria Nuciu. Anna claims to have been a translator on the base, and she accuses Colonel Otto Busher III and Lloyd Sparks of using the base as a brothel. And she even records herself on a computer at the base going through what appears to be a ledger, keeping track of payments made for, I'm assuming, services from either women or children. And when you look up Otto Busher, a LinkedIn profile pops up showing a colonel with the same name that was stationed in Romania at a site called MK, which are the initials of the NATO base in Romania that the translator claims to work at. And Erica only comes in because the translator suspects that some of the girls were coming into the alleged brothel from this program. And the translator also states that the Romanian police were unable to investigate her claims because due to a joint order and a NATO agreement, U.S. military personnel can only be investigated by U.S. authorities. Although I can't really confirm that, but everything can't just be about sex. Although I am willing to bet that someone somewhere has very damning footage of powerful individuals, there has to be something more to it, something deeper. And why does Maduro look so happy? Nicholas, you facing a life sentence. But I guess maybe he just wants to look strong for his supporters, but also, who is taking these pictures? And what are y'all even doing in here, playing cards? Anyway, Ari, the former intelligence agent.
Yeah, the way Maduro was captured is somewhat suspicious. And I'm not too knowledgeable about the whole Venezuela thing, so I'm not going to comment on it too much. But just the situation, even in and of itself, is just a bit strange to me. Because I think we all know at this point that Donald Trump and a lot of their supporters just want to go to Venezuela to seize the oil. And that's no secret to anybody who's been watching. So when it comes to the president and how he's being treated and how it's being used as a means to invade Venezuela, basically, just seems to me as some sort of strange circumstance, is all I'm going to say.
Made the bold claim that the United States is in some way being blackmailed. He claimed that Epstein alone blackmailed several U.S. presidents, including Bill Clinton and Donald Trump, even saying that Trump might actually be against the war in Gaza, but due to whatever Netanyahu has on him, he has no choice but to support it. He even alludes to the assassination attempt on Donald Trump being tied to this blackmail. Ari also says that part of the blackmail is about where all of Jeffrey Epstein's money came from, and you just have to hear it for yourself.
The American government is sort of trapped by the Israelis. They trapped a number of US presidents by using Jeffrey Epstein. And it wasn't only about sex, it was also the money issue. Where was the money coming from?
That's an
I
interesting
don't
way to
think
think about it.
Trump wants to continue this war. The Israelis holding him back. Somebody tried to assassinate him, didn't they, before the election? And I believe the Israelis have the American government captive.
Now, whether you believe Ari or not, that's up to you. Many questions still remain regardless. Like, is he insisting that all of Epstein's money came from the United States or other people he was blackmailing? If what he's insisting is true, I can't even imagine how much dirt you have to have on a politician to shape world politics to your will. Whether it's trafficking or something else, I have no idea how deep this rabbit hole goes. But for the sake of my channel, I think that's all the digging I'm gonna do for today. But I thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah. You know, it wouldn't be surprising to me if something like that came out, that a lot of politicians were blackmailed and Epstein was used to get blackmail on certain politicians to basically be a de facto ruler of the United States via blackmail and force. Because I think that's what Israel has been doing for a while now. I don't really have any evidence for that. That's just my opinion. But the way that Israel has been suppressing the media and only giving, only giving leeway to people who support their causes, just seems to me that something is not right and something is going down between them and other countries. Because if you don't know, the UK has designated Netanyahu as a war criminal, and he flew by the UK airspace recently and nothing happened to him. And when Majiro did this, he was captured immediately. So it just seems really suspicious as to how stuff like this works out. And given how Epstein was, well, more evidence is pointing to Epstein being some sort of asset for Israel. That's the idea right now. It wouldn't be surprising to me if something like the U.S. being blackmailed was a part of the truth, basically. But I'm probably going to take a note from Trap and basically leave it right here, because I still want to keep my channels, But yeah, that's something that I just wanted to talk about real quick, because I really like Trap's content and I think it's really interesting. Oh yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's all I'm going to talk about today. I did want to play some Sonic Adventure. I did have some trouble getting the graphics to work right. I might have to work on that later, but I think it works. It'll work fine for right now. You'll see some graphical glitches that I've noticed on the characters, but I'll just try and fix that later on when I'm not streaming. But yeah, let me see if I can get that up real quick. Let's see. get this set up real quick. Okay. Let's see. This right here. Yeah. There we go. All right.
Select a memory card. Select a file.
Yeah, I never really played the... Hold on, it may still be too loud. Put it right here. We'll hide in that. That should be okay. Yeah, I never really played the Dreamcast version. I only played the GameCube version. So this is my first time actually checking this, checking this version out for the first time.
Select a character.
Yeah, you can see the graphics are kind of weird, but we're not going to worry about that right now.
Let's get him! Oh yeah! This is happening! Huh?
Yeah, you can see the graphics messing up a little bit.
What's up?
I don't know how to fix it. I might have to get a new application to get it to run right, but we'll worry about that later.
You are completely surrounded. Surrender yourself.
Well, before I forget, I need to change the categories real quick. Let's see if I can do it here. Sure. Oh. Hope it didn't. Hope it didn't. Can't really speak. Hope that didn't make me go offline. If it did, I'll probably do something else to change the categories. Let me try and do it again. All right.
Lock on target, men. Ready? Fire!
Probably not gonna look at all the cutscenes because I've already seen this a million times, but let's look at this one. Because I really want to do is I just want to play the game.
Retreat! All personnel!
I think we all know the story at this point.
Oh yeah, this could be fun.
Oh yeah. Okay. The thing about this boss is usually I beat him so quick that I don't really get to see his new attacks. Because usually when I'm fighting him I don't really spend too much time here. So I want to see what other attacks he has. Because I know he has some that I never really saw as a kid. Let's see. You do anything else? Oh. No, I think that's it.
Hey, I'll play with you some other time.
Oh well.
Come on, you big drip. Where you going?
Hold on one second. Why am I recording? It's kind of weird.
You know nothing, fool! It's Chaos, the god of destruction!
I think we're gonna skip this. I've already seen it. Oh, I can not skip this?
What? Tails?
I thought I could.
Watch out! You're gonna crash! Ah!
Oh well.
Tails! Now, what am I gonna do with you?
Let's go ahead and start this. Emerald Coast. Oh. Whatever. Yeah, plays just as I remember. Just on the Dreamcast. Now I know there was less glitches for the Dreamcast version because usually people talk a lot about the glitches for the GameCube version and the PC version, so I'm curious to see if that's here too or not. Or if it's just like less apparent. Some back here. Oh, what was that? It's right here. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if I can get up there. Alright, there we go. Oh, glad I missed the jump. Ooh. Okay. Oh, what's going on? Okay.
Jump on panel number 1.
Yeah, I know.
It will take you to panels 2 and 3. Jump as soon as you land on a panel or else you'll fall.
Been playing this for millions of years. Oh, I guess you wouldn't know by saying that.
Jump on panel number 1. It will take you to panels 2 and 3. Jump as soon as you land on a panel or else you'll fall.
Yes.
Yeah, not bad.
Hey, Sonic! Long time no see, huh?
I'm just glad you're okay. What happened anyway? You're too good of a pilot to just crash like that.
That was a test run using a new prototype propulsion system. It's got a few bugs.
I guess you can't skip it.
Why not just use
I
my
thought I
plane,
could.
the
I thought I
Tornado?
remember skipping it this time.
Thanks, but you gotta check out my newest power supply. Ta-da!
Whoa! A Chaos Emerald!
Yep, I just happened to find one of the 7 emeralds during one of my test flights. This thing's got unlimited power, you know. So I figured, why not use it to power my plane? Supercharged! You gotta come over to my workshop, Sonic. I've got something I've gotta show you. It's in the Mystic Ruins. The fastest way is by train. Let's go!
Okie dokie. Alright. Let's go outside right here. Yeah.
The train headed for the Mystic Ruins will be departing soon.
I like the other one. The train heading to Station Square. Well, this song. I've heard this song so much that I actually got tired of it. When I was a kid, I used to just play it over and over. And I just got so sick of it. It's a good song, but I just kept hearing it over and over.
I am Dr. Robotnik, the greatest scientific genius in the world.
Whatever you say, Eggman.
Enough! I've got big plans, and now I'm gonna put them to work.
You're always up to no good. Now what do you want?
I want all of the Chaos Emeralds. Better not interfere, or else!
Or else what, you big loser?
or else I'll take them from you by force, the hard way.
Okay, second boss. This one's not too hard either. Well, all the bosses aren't really that hard. Now that I think about it.
All systems, full power. Ah!
Yep.
All systems, full power. Ah! He's not gonna get away with this.
Oh, yeah, I think I am.
All systems, full power. Ah!
See, I did.
Hey, I'll play with you some other time. Well, that wasn't so hard.
Aha!
Oh no!
Come on, Chaos. Time to eat.
Chaos? Oh no, isn't that the same monster I saw the other day?
Oh, yes. It's just as the stone tablets predicted. His strength increases every time I feed him a Chaos Emerald. With all 7 emeralds
Okay,
in
yes,
him,
Emerald.
he'll be invincible and work for me. Together, we'll destroy Station Square. And on its ruins, I'll build Robotnik Land, the ultimate city, where I will rule it all. Come on, Chaos. Let's find another emerald, shall we?
Sonic! We can't let him get away with this, can we?
No way, Tails!
Without more emeralds, the monster can't transform. So, it's up to us to get the emeralds before Eggman does, huh?
No answer. Want to do that? There we go. Windstone. And I put it right here. I wonder if I can play the actual beta version of this level. Because no, you can actually play it. Maybe I will one of these days. Yep, got it.
Head straight up. You should be able to get out of the tornado. Jump on panel number 1. It will take
Yeah,
you to
yeah,
panels
yeah.
2 and 3. Jump as soon as you land on a panel or else you'll fall.
I always hear people say that these games age badly, and in some ways they're right, but when it comes to actual gameplay, I think it's still good. Me personally, I don't know if that's nostalgia talking or anything, but you know, I still really like it anyway. I think I was gonna fall there. Yeah, that part's kind of weird, I will admit. That part makes the camera really tough to navigate.
Yes! Yeah, not bad.
Okay. Was Knuckles over here? Nope, not yet.
The train headed for Station Square will
Yep,
be
there it
departing
is.
soon.
The train. I think I might have to go back. You have to go out here. To meet Amy, I think. Is it like, no. Okay, can't go in there yet, so it's probably not it.
The train headed for the Mystic Ruins will be departing soon.
Let's go over here. Oh wait, can't go in there yet. So where am I going next? I can't remember.
The train headed for Station Square will be departing soon.
No, there's nothing down there. I already did that. That's the child garden. Don't want to do that. Maybe there is something at Station Square. Let's see. Let's go down that other place. Okay. So go here. And we get nothing. Oh, it's right here. I knew there's something down here.
Now you've got Lightspeed shoes. Press and hold the action button to store up power. Once you have enough power, release the button and you can do the Lightspeed dash. The Lightspeed dash lets you race toward rings at light speed. As long as there's a trail of rings, you can go just about anywhere.
Ready? Go!
Hey, don't use the back door. I know there's a way to get this out of here. Just can't remember how. Oh, I think you need to get a rock. And then you can take it to the child garden. Okay, now I have to go back. Now can I go back here? I think I can. Yeah. Now it's time to go back here.
Ready? Go!
I think it has a higher pitch on the GameCube version when it says go. I think that's what's throwing me off here. How many wings do I need to get? Like 500? Can't remember. Well, let's just see.
Try and deposit as many rings as you can. It may even help show you the way.
Alright, pinball time. Nope. Nope. Still nothing. What's got in here? Wait, can I jump in there? I think I can. I never really got really far. Oops. I never really got far in that little bonus thing over there. What about this one? Ugh. Okay, so I can't jump. I just need to jump at the right time. Try it again. Ugh. At least got that. Wait, what the? Okay. Ooh. Keep missing it. That second one. Oops. Zero balls. Oh. Let's sound your rings will be dumped into garbage. Okay. So that's how I go into the actual level. Oops. So. And a nice pinball. Good old classic. Why does it ball look like that? I don't necessarily look at how things match up. I just get stuff randomly. I never really cared to learn how this game is played. If it matches, it matches. Yep. Did not even know that would do that. Just come on here. I'll say I do get tired of seeing this all the time. Can I get in there? I want to get in there. Oh, just get in there. Come on. Hey, oh. I guess not. There we go. Let's see here. Three of a kind. That's where the real money comes in right here. Oh, what the? Well, that never happened. In the GameCube version. Oops. Good old Knights. Never actually played Knights. I've seen gameplay of it, but I never really got really interested in it. Oh, is this enough? I think I got 200 last time. So, I think you just stop right here. And then when I'm done, I just go to the actual level. Okay, now to go to the garbage level. Don't care about this, so I'm just gonna take a drink real quick. And the garbage level. Oops. It's not how you're supposed to do that. That is still not how you're supposed to do that. Yeah. And I missed it. I won't miss this one. I just missed both of those. There we go. The lighting is a lot different in this version compared to the GameCube version. I actually like it a lot better. Ugh. This is my first time playing this. I like how you can I like how you can just do that. That's always good. Alright, where is that? Oh. Let's do these first. Yep.
Yes.
With the fumble.
Yeah, not bad.
We just follow bomb tails. House always wins.
Oh no, the Chaos Emerald!
Oh no, you don't!
Oh, jeez! Eggman.
Oh man, what happened to that emerald we just had?
I guess Eggman's got one of them, but the other one's safe. That guy must be desperate.
That means his 2 to our 1, and that's not good. Come on, Sonic, we need to get busy.
So I'm gonna need some real quick. This thing right here. The ice stone.
The train headed for the Mystic Ruins will be departing soon.
Yeah, this is it. I almost thought that was the other level. Yeah, this is it.
If you're frozen, jump a couple of times and you should be able to crack through.
I don't really remember that enemy right there. Just didn't bother to fight him. Never mind. Nope. I'll go back for that. There we go.
Be careful not to fall off.
What do you mean, Mom?
Use the panel to jump. It may even help guide your way.
Whoa. Yeah, let's play this Dreamcast instead. As I remember. Oops, wait. I want to get that clip. Yeah, I think it's this. No, it's the other one. We might have missed it already. Oh, look at that. A few glitches.
Yes.
I don't know if that's because of the program I'm using or it's just the game itself.
Yeah, not bad.
The train headed for Station Square will be departing soon.
What else am I doing? Is Knuckles over there? I think he is. Is that him? Yep.
What's up, Knuckles? Something bugging you?
No time for games, Sonic. Give me the emeralds you have, right now!
What? Let's just see you take them. Huh.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Best line in the game.
Give it your best shot. Oh no.
Oh no! The Chaos Emeralds!
Oh no.
Eggman.
Oh!
Ha! Like taking candy from a baby.
That's a Chaos Emerald.
That's right, fool! You made it all too easy! You practically gave them to me!
Hold it right there, creep! You can't get away with this! Knuckles, don't tell me Eggman tricked you again!
Me? What about you?
Way to go, Knucklehead!
Now I have 4 lovely emeralds! Chaos! These are for you, my friend!
Oh! He transformed again!
Man, no one ever cuts us any slack.
That's kind of weird. Oh wait. Yeah, this boss acts kind of weird, so kind of want to take my time with it. Well, over there. Go. And one more.
Hey, I'll get it to you some other time.
Yep. I said it was kind of weird, but I guess it was kind of weird when I was a kid, when I was playing it.
Behold my floating masterpiece, the egg carrier! But it pales in comparison to the power of chaos. Adieu, until we meet again, my friends!
Hey, we can't let him get away! Let's get to my workshop and we'll take the tornado!
Yeah! You guys go. I have some unfinished business to take care of.
No problem, Knuckles. We'll take care of everything here.
Come on! Let's get going!
I really like that song. Okay, since I started a little late, as I said, getting a little late for me, so I think I'm gonna end it right here.
The train headed for
I'm gonna be
Station
playing
Square
Dusk
will be
tomorrow.
departing soon.
I still have to. Oh wait, I already bought it, so never mind. I'm playing Dusk tomorrow. I'm gonna see how that plays. I actually never played it before, and I know a lot of people really like that game, so I'm excited to try it. I don't really play many boomer shooters like that, so it'll be interesting to check that out. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now let me get out of this. And go this. Oh yeah. If you're still in chat, I appreciate you for coming. I'll be back at the same time, 6 o'clock. I'm trying to get consistent about it, but I may try to do something else just to be on here more often and not be stressed when I'm trying to get everything set up. That's why I was late today, just trying to get everything set up. So I'll try and see what I can do, but right now I think I'm doing all right, you know. So again, I appreciate y'all, and I will see you guys tomorrow. We're playing Dusk tomorrow, so I will see you guys then. All right. All right, I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow.